they announced?
Oh yeah, it was that close. I mean, going into the singles race, there was 3 teams that had 6 points. Ooh. So it was anybody's race. Overall finish, Brigantine had 11 points, Margate had 9, and Longport had 8. But there were some new competitors that are Windy Savell boys from Brigantine. They're dominant, man. They've been winning races left and right. Atlantic City's got a swimmer, Charles Schreiner. Say it for me, Wade. Schreiner. He wins the race, beats Dolan Grisbaum in a very dramatic.
That's the first thing I asked because I'm an Ocean City guy.
Right.
He's in it. I'm like, hey, how did he do? And you said upset.
We're calling the race, and we thought it was actually Zach Vassar from Margate.
What was interesting last night, listening to the broadcast on this side of the action, was you guys were looking for who was coming in. And you guys were first surprised that it wasn't Grisbaum.
And the reason why those three, they have the same hats, swimming caps.
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 Yeah. So you guys were like, no, that's not Grisbaum. And then then you thought it was Vassar because, like you said, they have the same caps. But then when the guy got out of the water, that's when you were like, that is definitely not Grisbaum or Vassar. And then it was Grisbaum and Vassar who came actually second and third. And you guys mentioned it was a foot race to the finish.
Oh, it was very exciting, very dramatic. Outstanding race last night. We'll have the Beach Patrol for you in the second hour, brought to you by McCann Realtors of Seattle City and the Ocean City Beach Patrol Lifeguard Alumni Association. We got Phillies on the plate today. Woo. On our plate today, a lot of Phillies talk.
You've been asking for that offense to wake up, Billy. Well, they
did.
They delivered.
And guess what? We're gonna get in depth to it, but it all started with the standing ovation.
Yeah,
last Friday.
We got to talk about that.
We're going to talk about that. And at 11 o'clock today, we're going to talk with newly enshrined
Hall of Fame,
Pro Football Hall of Fame defensive end for the New York Jets, Joe Klecko.
And he's a local guy.
He's a local guy.
It's even better. Yeah, that's going to be fun to have him.
All right, Carlin. I did not get a chance to watch the Phillies game last night. They beat the Minnesota Twins, who, by the way, are in first place in the American League Central.
Caveat: first place in the worst division in all of baseball.
Still worse. It's still the first.
It's still the first. And here's
that means you're the best of a bunch of idiots.
Yeah, that's true.
That's all right. 13-2. Yeah. But
a lot of hits.
Talk about a power surge. You have Trey Turner. Since that standing ovation,
8 straight games.
8 straight games with a hit.
8 straight games with a hit.
Of course, you read my article every Friday on 97.3ESPN.com. In that article, I said that Trey Turner is a new player after the standing. Mike, are you
not just a new player? I think it's a lift for the whole team.
Yes.
I think the rest of the players are looking around, especially the new guys, saying, man, look how the town is getting back in this guy.
And by the way, that's a great point by you, Mike, because Michael Lorenzen mentioned that after his no-hitter. He mentioned about the fact that, hey, I saw how they reacted to Trey Turner. So he said, I'm not surprised how the fans reacted to me. That's so like the guys are noticing, Billy, that how the players are being treated.
Yeah, and you saw the other players rally around Trey Turner, arms around him. I think it was Alvarado. Did you see him hugging him a little bit? He had his arm around him, like just the way they receive each other is special. You can see it.
And when he hit a home run, I was at the Tuesday night game. I forget what name I was watching now, but he hit a home run, and the camera zoomed right into Harper on the bench,
and he was every bit as excited.
He was more excited than anything else. It was like this is what we need.
That's his buddy, though.
Yeah, good. But he knows he needs him for the postseason. Like we got to get this guy playing the right way.
But it's twofold because you guys know when your friend is successful, like your good friend is successful, you're happier for him more than they are.
You can tell
kind of thing, right? And so it's a similar feeling where, hey, I'm not just doing well because he's my teammate, but my friend is doing well, and that makes it even more.
All
and I do believe Mike Lorenzen, his no-hitter was a shot in the arm for a nice adrenaline shot. When something like that happens, like high tide rises all boats, right?
Especially playing a game where we didn't have a whole lot of we rested a lot of guys that
game.
So did we expect him to go out and do that?
Absolutely not.
Yeah. So I mean, it was perfect. But getting back to Turner, what's great about Turner is that it's not, even though we say like 8 straight games with hits, it's not like he's going 1 for 5, getting 1 hit. He's getting 2-3 hits a game, RBIs, home runs, doubles. I mean,
He was
starting
3
to
for
come
5
around.
last night.
He's coming around.
And
He's batting 4 over 400 since Friday.
Yep.
Think about how crazy that is in and
Yeah.
of itself.
But the Phillies have like some 22 home runs, 24 home runs now in this homestand.
They had 22 home runs
They hit
going
2.
into last night's game.
Right. They hit 2 more, right?
Yeah, they had 2 more last. Well, don't forget the Rojas home run was ridiculous. You know, I mean, that look. By the way, is anyone more full of joy for baseball than Johan Rojas?
But that you like to see that. It's infectious. Like the whole team sees it. When you get a good blend of young guys and grizzled veterans, the older guys can see the excitement and the euphoria that these guys have to play the game.
Billy, the last 19 games, we've only lost 6 games. I say the last 12 games.
Well,
we
Carlin, you
3.
did start to worry, though.
I was.
You were worried at the middle of July
I had
there.
a little bit of an itch, like, oh boy, I hope I'm right. Like I'm just
Josh.
stay calm.
Tell Carlin that before Mike joined the show, when the Phillies really hadn't done anything prior to the I guess the run last year. This time of year, all we did was talk Eagles. We didn't talk Phillies.
Well, because the Phillies used to be poor.
Right. But I mean, now it's like everybody's I go on the beach. It's getting to that feel again where you hear people have their, you can hear them listening to the game.
Well, tonight's going to be an interesting conversation because I don't know about you guys, but I personally want to go somewhere where I can have both games on the TV because I know it's only a preseason game. But I still want to see the Eagles, but I don't want to miss any of the Phillies game. And I wonder if anybody else, like do you guys feel the same way tonight? Do you guys feel like I need to have both on? Do you feel like you could pick one over the other?
I easily can pick one over the other only because if I would have heard that the first team was going to play like the first quarter, then I'd watch the first quarter. But when I'm hearing that Hurts and no one's playing, I'll go right to the Phillies.
Billy?
No, I'm curious. I like to see the Birds play, but I'll just be clicking. I'll be going jumping back and forth. I won't stick to one unless the Phillies game is real close and they're playing well.
Yeah, they stay.
Yeah. But it's good to have the Birds back, and football is here. And we're all excited. The Eagles, if you look at the NFC East, with the exception of maybe the Cowboys, there's nobody who scares me there.
No. But there's always that like last
year.
Gotta
stay healthy.
Like last year, we go to Washington. There's always that one game. Like when we start giving our picks for the season,
right?
You always have to throw in one game where we shouldn't lose, but we lose.
And I doubt you're going to only lose 3 games again.
Correct.
I feel like this is probably going to be, and it's not a reflection of the team overall. I just think that the odds of you going 14-3, I do the math right in my head. 14-3. I'm still getting over this 17-game schedule. It messes with my math, doesn't it, Bill?
It messes me up too.
9-8 records are just like the biggest brain twister in the world. But going 14-3, I don't think you'll see that again. Now, I'm not saying they won't win the division. I think they win the division.
They'll win the division. They should. 12-5.
12-5. I'm going to say 11-6.
Yeah,
because that stretch, we've talked about that stretch.
Yeah, but that still wins the division.
Yeah, they'll still win the division, I believe. I just think that it's going to be interesting because the reason I bring up the Eagles and the Phillies, we can get into this more as the show progresses. We all remember last year, the World Series was on the same night as Eagles on Thursday Night Football.
Yeah, I remember that.
And we were all having conversations about how are we going to watch it? What are we going to do? We're going to be in a similar predicament this year because the Phillies are going to be in the postseason again, and the Eagles are going to be arguably one of the best teams in all the NFL. How are we going to split our attention?
It's a good problem to have, isn't it, Carlin?
It is a lot of cities would like to have our problem.
We're just getting warmed up. It's a Saturday morning here in the locker room. The first hour of the locker room is powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers and sellers, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. Surety is an industry-wide leader with a team of experts that will help you through the entire process, from contract signing to closing, for the shortest center city and every place in between. Surety Title is there for you with 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA. That's Surety Title. For more information, call my good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900 or give the Ocean City office a call at 609-399-1227. Folks, I want to tell you about Captain Chucky's is now in Sea Isle City. Try their famous crab cakes, steamed shrimp, selection of soups and appetizers, Marciano's stuffed breads, pierogies from the Pierogi Kitchen, Stock's pound cake, and more. Just take, bake, and enjoy. Call them at 609-905-CRAB, 609-905-CRAB, or visit CaptainChucky'sSeaIsle.com. Stop by and say hello to owners John and Katie McCann. They're great people down there. 4111 Landis Avenue in Sea Isle City. See all they have to offer you. Online ordering and local delivery is available. That's Captain Chucky's in Sea Isle City. Crab with an attitude. All right, when we return, we'll continue with more Phillies talk right here in the locker room with Billy Schweim and Mike Carlin on 97.3 ESPN.
This is the radio home for Philadelphia Eagles football. The Eagles open the 2023 preseason tonight in Baltimore against the Ravens.
Up the middle, he's in for the touchdown.
Oh, straight ahead. Eagles radio network coverage begins at 6 p.m. with Merrill Reese and Mike Quick calling all the action starting at 7. This is where the Philadelphia Eagles play. 97.3 ESPN, South Jersey's official Eagles station.
Ocean City's real estate market is red hot, and you need an agent that has the knowledge and expertise to help. Contact Ocean City's top agent, Mark Rhymes. Mark has been selling real estate for 30 years in South Jersey. He can answer all your real estate questions and find you the perfect property. He's available anytime on his cell at 609-425-2042. When Philadelphia star athletes are looking for a house at the beach, they contact Mark Rhymes, specializing in buying and selling vacation homes, single-family homes, condominiums, and duplexes, residential and commercial, as well as new construction projects or investment opportunities. Mark Rhymes, he's your agent at the beach. Give him a call right now, 609-425-2042, or check out his website at grimes.com.
Randazzo's Pizza, Randazzo's Pizza, Randazzo's Pizza, the pizza you're gonna love. It's got the freshest taste that you'll find any place. Randazzo's Pizza, there's one right nearby. Randazzo's Pizza, Randazzo's Pizza. It's a pizza like you've never had before. Eat it or take it home, no matter where you roam. Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find. Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find.
Why would you call anyone else besides Randazzo's Pizzeria and Family Restaurant, 34th and Asbury Avenue in Ocean City. Open year-round, 7 days a week, offering free delivery on the whole island and to the beach. Pizza, pasta, salads, entrees, subs, paninis, and wraps. Voted best of the shore. Call 814-1600. 814-1600.
Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find. Pizza, the tastiest.
Electrical Service is just that. Service in Atlantic and Cape May counties for 40 years. Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services specializes in both commercial and residential work and provides 24-hour emergency services. No job too big and no job too small. Call Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services. They do it all. Call for a free estimate, 609-399-1999.
Call Tom Jackson & Sons for electrical. They're number one.
Get fast, reliable Xfinity Internet. And now, you can add a whole new way to watch the entertainment you love. Introducing Now TV, the best value in live TV and streaming, just $20 a month. Get over 40 live channels. Plus, watch movies, shows, and live sports with Peacock Premium, a $5.99 a month value, included at no extra cost. Start watching thousands of hours of content in minutes. So whether you're an action junkie, a sports buff, or a romance fanatic, you can stream all the entertainment you love, all on the network made for streaming. Now through September 21st, get the best value in live TV and streaming, all on the best network. Switch to Xfinity Internet for $25 a month for 12 months, and add Now TV with Peacock Premium included for just $20 a month. Call, click, or visit a store to switch today. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Now TV requires Xfinity Internet. Internet equipment, taxes, and fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply to Internet service. Actual speeds vary.
You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the free 97.3 ESPN mobile app.
All right, we're back broadcasting live right here at the Toms River Auto Group studio in Northfield. Billy Schweim, Mike Carlin, Josh Henning pushing the buttons. You know, Carlin, today, my routine on the way into the show, I stop by Blitz's and get my freshly squeezed orange juice. 12 ounces of liquid sunshine. That'll cure almost anything. But you mentioned the locker room. You get $1 off. It's $4.99. You say the locker room. $3.99. Out of your mind? Go down to Blitzen.
That's how you start the day.
Dave and Joe Newman. They got a juicer down there. Speaking of juice, let's talk about, because I don't think I really had an opportunity to get your thoughts on the Philadelphia fan and the fan base cheering Kyle Schwarber. He takes out billboards. Obviously,
Trey Turner. You mean.
What did I say?
You said Schwarber.
So, I'm sorry, Trey Turner.
Trey Turner.
Yeah. It's so unusual for the Philadelphia fan. We have such a bad reputation, right? That we're the worst fans. We throw batteries and snowballs at Santa Claus. We've come. I don't know how to take this because we're in uncharted territory here. This is not your typical. But I like what happened.
Well, I think these guys have so many people around them. They're making so much money. And what I mean by that is that they have someone that does their advertising, their marketing. So and I'm hoping that it's him that's saying, hey, guys, I want to do something for the city.
Yeah.
And not someone on his outside his shoulder saying, hey, I think you really want to come off like the good guy here and putting stuff like seeds in his head. I'd like to think that he's doing it on his own.
Yeah. I mean,
because that billboard was a great idea.
Like 3 or 4 of them, right? Yeah. Around. It wasn't just one.
I'm willing to guarantee you that was either his idea and or his wife's idea.
Perfect.
Yeah, because remember,
it doesn't matter. It's the fact that he did it. Well, I mean, that's outstanding.
Only reason I say is because I don't think it's his advisors, because his wife's a Jersey girl, and if you notice the placement of the billboards, they're in both directions.
Yeah. All right.
So you don't think his wife said, "Hey, honey, don't forget about the Jersey people."
Yeah.
In his last 8 games since his homestand, Trey Turner batting .406, 8 extra base hits, 10 RBIs. Last night marked the 4th multi-hit game, 3rd multi-RBI game. Turner's collected 3 hits for the first time since June 11th.
So
He's
he hasn't
a completely new player.
He hasn't just picked himself up. He's picked the team up. Because the team was going up and down, up and down. Now we're on a nice little straight course here.
So you lose Rhys Hoskins. Everybody says 30 home runs out of the lineup.
Right.
But you bring in Trey Turner. He's the type of guy that can carry a team on his back.
No doubt. And do more. Because remember,
right,
him at first base was shaky.
Right.
He'd hit a home run, but then we'd have an error at first or this or that. Turner can play the field and he can hit. And what I love about him, he's got to get on. When he gets on the base, he's problems.
He's a threat to steal.
Yeah, you got to watch. So like Kruk was talking about last week that he used to love, because they asked him, they said, what do you think he needs to bat? Because we had Kyle in one. And he was like, when I was a batter, I wanted the pitcher to be thinking about who was on first or second, not worrying about who was batter. He goes, when Kyle's on first, they're not worrying about him. He's not stealing. He goes, so they're zeroing right on me. He goes, when Lenny Dykstra and those guys were on the base in front of me, I knew that pitcher wasn't just worrying about me. He was worrying about him running. Well, that's what Turner does.
Well, I will press back on that point. And that is, I think that one of the things we forget about is the leadoff hitter only leads off once the entire game. The rest of the game, he's just part of the rotation.
Yeah.
So to me, I'm less concerned about who is the number one in the lineup, as is the rest of the way the lineup is stacked. For example, I hated how they would stack like 3 left-handers in a row, or when they would have all the fast guys near each other and all the slow guys near each other. Like, I like the way the lineup is now. And Billy, you tell me what you think, where it's like, hey, Rojas is 9 and then Schwarber is 1. So now when Rojas gets on, Schwarber is up. And if Schwarber doesn't get the job done, then Bohm is up. And guess who's behind Bohm? Now it's Harper.
Right.
Well, where's Stott? Stott's right ahead of Real Muto. Well, if Stott gets on, Real Muto can drive him in. So it's like, I like the way the lineup is right now because it's way more layered than it was.
Well, we have like I would say 2 months ago when I kept saying, when we were past it, this team's too good. We have too many good players on this team.
It's an all-star lineup.
Sooner or later, they had to come together, and now they're coming together.
Billy, that's a great point. Can we touch on what you just said? Yeah. This is an all-star lineup.
It is.
That is the thing that Dave Dombrowski kept bringing up in every interview. He's like, look, we got a big 5. He says, look, we got Harper, we got Turner, we got Schwarber, we got Castellanos, we got Romuto. We got 5 guys with high-level, high-tier resumes. And Billy, you're right. This is a team that should be hitting. They're an all-star lineup.
And when you have Romuto, when you have Harper, when you have your big guns hitting Trey Turner hitting home runs.
Yep.
This is
everything falls in
everything.
place.
Like, guess what? That 186 batting average that Schwarber carries around. Who cares when you're winning?
Right.
When you're winning, who cares?
Right.
When you're losing, I'm looking right at 186.
And guess what else?
Right, Josh?
Yes,
Guess
so
what
true.
we're not even talking about? We're talking about the big five. Did we forget about Bohm, Scott? I mean, we got guys that.
Well, the reason why we don't, I'm not.
Well, they're
I
the
know,
day
but-
kid.
but
They care.
my point is, we're always talking about the stars. We didn't think that these other guys that we call the young guys were going to be playing as good as they're playing.
Right.
So the whole team is playing together.
Want to bring something else up to you guys. I noticed these little nuanced things, but there's just something about Castellanos' son. I love that.
He's got a father.
Well, yeah, but so a lot of people have kids, and you don't have to be a father to appreciate his love for his son. His son is at every game. He's right there, and he gives him like Castellanos to me can do no wrong right now because he's back hitting the ball. But that when I see that,
there was a
it
time
just
you were
endears.
on him,
You know what I? What's
there
that?
there was a time
Yeah,
you were on
I
him.
know. Yeah, but
things change quick.
But Carlin, doesn't that
Hit
your soul? Like
if you're still like George Thorogood used to say,
what?
when you're hitting, you're still in the game.
Yeah.
So still in
No,
the
but
lineup.
I mean-
I'm sorry, when you're hitting, you're still in the lineup.
But my point is, it's like a family affair. You know what I'm saying, Josh? With the son there, it's a lot of cool side stories to this.
Honestly, my question I'm asking right now is what happened when you guys go back to school?
What's him? Who, him?
Yeah,
Oh.
when Castellanos' son has to go back to school, what are they going to
Yeah,
do?
right.
No,
Well, they start at 6:40 now.
He'll miss the businessman special games if there's any. That's,
Yeah, that's
all.
it.
All the other games will be
Well,
at.
the thing is, they're starting at 6:40.
Yeah, school's over by 2:33.
Well, I mean, is he not going to have any after school
there's
activities?
no homework. There's no homework during the season.
Oh, there's no homework. Is that
Not
what it
during the
is?
season, right?
You're Nick
I
Castellanos.
gotta go to my daddy's
kid.
game
You don't
today.
get to get homework.
Listen, Castellanos has hit safely in 12 straight games. Guys, he's starting to he's heating up again. He's back up to 280.
Castellanos is hitting over 300 for the month. Ever
Right.
since it turned to August 1st, he's gotten better.
We're the wild card. We have 4.5 game lead on wild card. Okay, and we were hoping to be in the running by
Right.
the end of August. Okay, well, now we're building on that, and we talked about the month of August, and it's all coming through.
It's August.
Who we were going to be playing, how many games we were going to be playing at home, and we have, at one point in about another week, we got 10 straight home games coming up, and we play teams like Washington twice,
Right.
St. Louis. I mean, St. Louis is terrible.
They're bad this year.
Okay, now we do play San Fran and LA that are good teams. But my point is, we got a lot of home games coming up. We're playing good. Our pitching's playing. I mean, everything's coming together. You just pray that. Would you rather come together now or in September?
No.
I'm just hoping
Well,
we're
I'd
not
rather-
going nuts right now. But at least we get a cushion. That God forbid if we do have a week or two
Well,
bad in
it's
September.
August 12th. I mean, you're in the middle of the dog days.
Yeah.
And you know what? They have a big bench now. They got a bench. These guys can get some rest.
Yeah,
I mean,
JT needs a break behind the catcher. What's his name comes in? I mean, he can't wait to play. These guys come off the bench; they want to play.
and I heard some people belly aching about, you're not going up against the best pitching staffs. And I don't care. These guys are major league, like Tommy Green tells us every Sunday
Yeah.
when we go on the mound with Tommy Green. They're major league baseball
you can't
players.
Help who you're going up against.
You beat who you beat.
I don't go by that. 13 games over 500.
13 games over
Did you
500,
think we'd be
Carlin.
that? Yeah. Second week in August.
186
13
doesn't
games
look
over 500.
186 doesn't look bad right now.
15 hits last night. I mean, this team's playing really, really good. We got Walker on
Christopher
today.
Sanchez. Here's a guy that he hasn't been able to get a win. He's pitched really well in his last, 5-6 starts. He's pitched really well. He hasn't been able to get a win. Gets his first win
Now,
last night.
here's a question we haven't even talked about, and it's a big question. Ready? We haven't brought up Harper's name with the back spasms. Now that we're winning like this, do you just rest him for a good 7-10 days and say, just come back? when
Well,
you
it
wanna
looked
come
like he
back?
tweaked his back on that play at first base. Correct.
That's exactly what happened.
He's definitely day to day with back spasms.
I'd sit him.
Me too. That's
Let
my
him take a
point.
rest.
I would say, hey, take the rest of the series off.
You know how hard he worked to get back into the lineup.
Yeah.
In
We don't
a
need
speedy
him right
recovery.
Now. We don't need it. That's the point. We don't need.
I
it
would
now.
say we don't
I have
need him.
zero interest in seeing Harper come back anytime before he's 100%.
You're advocating let him take a week off.
Absolutely.
Why not?
Yeah,
Put
absolutely.
him on,
At this point,
put him
the
on
way
the
we're-
10-day DL.
Yeah.
Bring up some random dude
Yeah,
from the
just
minor
bring him
leagues.
around
Why
and say,
not?
You just rest.
Who's the big power bat we just sent down? The lefty. Bring him back up.
Derek Hall?
Derek Hall?
He stunk this year.
I don't think he didn't really get a fair shake, did he?
He didn't get a fair shake.
He was doing really well in the beginning of the year, then he breaks his thumb.
Yeah, then he never was the same.
And he was never the same. So, bring him up, give him a shot.
Or not.
Just
Listen,
rest Harper.
to me, there's one guy in AAA who, if you're going to call up anyone, you got to give him a chance. That's Simone Muzziotti. Simone Muzziotti is hitting like 350 in the minor leagues this year. You brought up Jake Cave because he was on fire. To me, put Harper on the 10-day injured list. Let him get fully healthy. Bring up Muzziotti, and then
see what he's got.
Yeah, and just see what happens. Why not?
All right, guys. I mean, it's August 12th, and the Phillies are playing well. We got Eagles football tonight. We're going to get into that. I'm excited, man. It's the South Jersey Lifeguard Championships last night. It's a happening town. First hour in the locker room is powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers and sellers, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. From the shore to Center City and every place in between, Surety Title is there for you with 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA. That's Surety Title. For more information, call my good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900 or give the Ocean City office a call at 609-399-1227. All right, when we return, we'll continue with more here in the locker room. Billy Schweim, Mike Carlin, Josh Henning, right here on 97.3 ESPN.
Coming up on the next edition of the Sports Bash with Mike Gill.
Monday show, we are taking a look back at the Phillies weekend against the Twins and the Eagles matchup against the Ravens. We'll be live at Ocean Casino's Gallery Bar Booking Games. Stop out and see us. Phil's weekend, Eagles and Ravens. It's all Monday on the Bash.
The Sports Bash, weekdays from 2 to 6 on 97.3 ESPN and the free mobile app.
Train presents The Unstoppables. Those captains of comfort, those gargantuans of the guarantee, those satisfaction savants who persevere perilously beyond probability as the raconteurs of reliability. Here's the Train's heralded heroes of heating and air conditioning, those comfort kings with a tireless tenacity for total turnaround. The Train Comfort Specialists. Just one more reason why it's hard to stop a train.
Hi, this is Joe Lenigan, owner of Lenigan Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Call us today for your free train system quote at 609-399-1200 or online at ocnjplumber.com. And please don't forget to ask for the military and senior discount.
Call and again and again. Call and again and again.
Hi, this is ex-Philadelphia Eagles tight end Ken Dunnick, and I'm the current publisher of Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine, and I'm asking you to become a Camden County police officer and help make our city a better place to live. The Camden County Police Department is now hiring for sworn officers who are going to make a difference in our community. The first year's salary for the position is $51,000. So join the effort today to be part of something bigger than yourself. Visit CamdenCountyPD.org to apply online. That's CamdenCountyPD.org. Thank you.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Leaving for the gym so early?
I'm ready to go.
Since you started taking Nugenix Total T, you've been acting like when we met in our 20s.
I feel like myself again. Lower testosterone after turning 40 slowed me down. Nugenix Total T has been a game changer for me.
What is it about Nugenix Total T that's different?
Well, it's a patented key ingredient called testofen. It boosts free and total testosterone to help you get back the drive and energy from your youth. It's backed by 5 clinical studies.
I've seen the huge difference it's made for you in the gym, at work, and in the bedroom.
I'm so glad I sent them a text for my complimentary bottle. Text ROCK to 321321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Nugenix is the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and we'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever. Absolutely free. Text ROCK to 321321. That's ROCK to 321321.
Flounder season is gearing up, and the one stop for everything you need is the bait and tackle shop at Utch's Marina in historic Cape May. Come to Utch's for a huge selection of spinning and conventional rods and combos for the boat or the surf, with top name brands available like Penn, Tsunami, Ocean Max, Shimano, and more. Utch's Marina, your home away from home at the foot of the bridge in Cape May. Stop by any day or visit CapeMayHarbor.com.
You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN.
Broadcast Auto Group Studio right here in Northfield. Billy Schweim, Mike Carlin, Josh Kenny. We're covering from a great night last night on the beach at Margate. You're recovered. I'm recovered. No, great night. Great broadcast, and a lot of text messages when people said they enjoyed it.
Now, the last two races, you always came in telling me about the waves and the condition. What was last night?
So last night's condition was a lot calmer than the week before. It was an angry ocean. It was Victory Sea was on a washing machine with some big swells, outer break, middle break, inner break. Last night was a completely different thing. It was not. There were waves, but they weren't as many.
So I would think, as an outsider, I'm just thinking, you're not riding waves in. You're using your muscles and
more rowing the whole way. Yeah,
right. Okay.
But there were a couple waves to be had, and of course, the Savelle boys. They're on top of their game right now. They're catching waves. They're shipping their oars, and then they get the oars right back in the water and continue to row.
Do you move on from this? Like do you represent the state of New Jersey?
No.
There's no nationals and stuff like that.
This is exclusive to South Jersey.
This is South Jersey.
Yeah, they don't have lifeguard racing almost anywhere else in the country.
No kidding.
Do you know?
Yeah.
It's a Philly thing. It's a South Jersey thing.
Yeah, beautiful.
Like it's
exclusive to our neighborhood.
That's our new
area.
That's your new shirts. That's what you should be selling.
It's a South Jersey thing.
Yeah,
excuse me. Carlin.
It's a South Jersey thing, and underneath it, lifeguard champion. Or
Mike
something.
was so excited with the ID, he got choked up.
At the top of the hour, we're going to talk with newly enshrined defensive end for the New York Jets. Joe Klecko is going to join us. His nephew, Jake Klecko, rode for Wildwood Crest in both the singles and doubles, and we spoke with Jake during the broadcast after the race and had him up in the truck. That was pretty cool to talk to him. But we'll get into all that with our Beach Patrol report brought to you by McCann Realtors of Seattle City and the Ocean City Beach Patrol Lifeguard Alumni Association. So we had a good time. I want to thank my cousin Dave Rogers and Haley Rogers, because I didn't have anybody to sell shirts, and they came up.
They took
care of it. She did a fabulous job, and that was great. I'm telling you, I was really impressed with the size of that crowd last night.
It was beautiful.
It was a beautiful night. Yeah. And you see the Phillies score. I feel like I didn't miss a beat because they're winning. You know what I mean? You don't have to hang on every pitch.
Correct. If you miss something,
they won. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's nice that we're in that spot, isn't it? I mean, don't take it for granted.
Well, because when I look at you and when I look at your face and that look that you had, like just a couple weeks ago, right before that homestand, we were concerned. We were concerned about Schwarber. It was the middle of July. Aaron Nola.
It was the middle of July, and I've
they
always
were out
said,
of the wild.
Wait till August.
Right.
Well, in the middle of July, I started saying, "Ooh, August may be a little too late." The way we were playing, but I always kept saying, "This team's too good to not make it." Like I always knew we were a wild card team.
I think there are chances now when it improved to 89%, Josh, something like that. I saw.
Oh, they're making the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm just saying there was a.
But you want that one seed,
right?
You want that one seed. You want all 3 games at home.
Yeah.
I mean, there's.
All right, 609-403-0973 is the text board. Josh, we have a couple text messages you want to read.
Yeah, let's start with Paul in Ocean City. Paul from Ocean City chimes in and says, Phillies are rolling with 3 exclamation points. He says, I love the Lorenzen pickup in the play of Rojas. He's been huge for our defense. I think blending of young talent is good for chemistry. We saw this last year with Stott and Maton. They were a big part of last season's success. I'm excited for Eagles season kicking off. That's Paul in Ocean City.
And let me just say this, Paul, I see him on the beach. He's a big sports fan. He used to come to see us on our live shows, Mike, yesterday. He came down there, and he's a big Eagles guy too. So he's a big sports fan.
He's ready.
Another texter, they didn't leave their name, so I'm a little disappointed in them for doing that. But they left a pretty detailed comment. They said 100% completely last year, the Phillies World Series game, I watched it over the Eagles game. How was I even a debate? The Eagles game, you could check silently on your phone while you're watching the Phillies game, not missing a pitch. You can't invent an outcome of the Eagles game in which you remember it for years from now. Okay, well, only Josh will remember, but nobody else will.
Nice.
You first of all, here's how it goes. If it's a playoff game, that game takes precedent over a regular season game, right? For the Eagles and it'll be a regular season
not
game.
to some people. Unfortunately, not to
a
some
World
people.
Series game.
If you're asking me, I agree with you. But there are some people that are just, Bill, we can talk Eagles 7 days a week.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't matter. There are some people that they know that the Phillies are playing hot right now, but they're already thinking Eagles. That's all they care about.
Not only that, now you got a clicker. So if the say the Phillies are down 7-0, you just change the channel.
Yeah, I agree.
Right?
I agree.
But I would imagine, I'm sure, I forget, but I'm sure that I was more geared up for that World Series game than a regular season Eagles game on that Thursday night.
I think a lot of people were, just because the Phillies had not had success in a long time. So there's a level of must-see television with it. But I do think there was still, like Mike said, there's a lot of people that no matter what's going on, Eagles first.
Well, you know what how they think? Those true Eagles fans, you think about it. They say, "Oh, God forbid if I miss the Phillies game, they play in 2 days or they play tomorrow."
Right.
This is only 16 games, 17 games, whatever it is. They got to watch every game.
Right.
We're rocking, man. Football. See, and I heard Mike yesterday on the Sports Bash with Mike Gill, saying that you get to the first preseason game. The summer is pretty much over. It's
2 more weeks.
Yeah,
2 more. College football is
August 26th.
Josh is salivating over there.
August 26th. And by the way, we're going to carry the Notre Dame versus Navy game here on 97.3 ESPN that day.
Very nice.
Of course, you can hear the Eagles tonight right here on 97.3 ESPN.
Coverage begins at 6.
The first time you hear Merrill Reese and Mike Quick, that's pretty cool.
I liked having Mike on last year.
Yeah.
Quick, we got to get him back. He's good.
Mike's a great guy. I tell the story when my brother was selling cars at the car emporium there in Cherry Hill. It was exotic cars. And a lot of the players would come in to Bobby's showroom. He was the manager in there. And Randall Cunningham would come in, and they did have a catch. Mike Quick came in. Well, he goes to see my brother. The last thing he's thinking about is he's a twin. I better tell you, I'm a twin in case you ever run into my brother. Lo and behold, I'm over at the airport working, and I'm standing in the jetway. He must have just left my brother's dealership, and he comes, and I'm there with my U.S. Air uniform on at the jetway because I got to take the bags down. You should have seen the look on his face. He's looking at me, and I'm like, "It's Mike Quick. Why is he looking at me like that?" And then I said something to him. He goes, "What? He couldn't get it out." He goes, "Didn't I just see you?" I said, "What are you talking about?" He told me where he was. I said, "That's my twin brother." He could not believe I had a twin brother.
I like the story that when we had him on last year, I kept trying to chime in and say a question, and you were talking a lot. It's your show, okay?
Right?
And all of a sudden, Mike jumps in because he heard me say, Bill.
Right.
Yeah. And all of a sudden he goes, "Billy, hold on." He goes, "Billy, will you give Mike some time?" He goes, "Let him talk." He goes, "I feel like I'm talking with Merle. Merle never gives me any time." The way he said it was so funny, though.
He's a great guy. We'll get Mike Quick on. But
oh my God,
when you hear their voices, man,
football's here.
Football's here.
Yeah.
And it's just like the passage of time. When you hear Scott Fransky now, we used to hear Harry Cowles, but now you hear Scott Fransky on the beach. Like people are like asking, like, "What's the score?" When you walk, because I got my, I have my old fashioned radio because I still read the newspaper.
Newspaper did die.
But people are asking, "What's the score?" People
want to know.
They want to know because the Phillies are relevant.
Because we're in it.
That's right.
If we weren't in it, no one would care.
All right. The first hour of the locker room is powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection, professional settlement services for home buyers and sellers, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. Surety is an industry-wide leader with a team of experts that will help you through the entire process, from contract signing to closing, from the shortest center city and every place in between. Surety Title is there for you with 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA. That's Surety Title. For more information, call my good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900. Give the Ocean City office a call at 609-399-1227. Hey, just about everybody in our area has heard about the Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine that's run by ex-Philadelphia tight end Ken Dunnick. But were you aware of their private business network they call the Legacy Club? Every month, they hold private events at upscale locations in Philadelphia and South Jersey that attract over 200 top business people. If you have an interest in attending one of these events and see it's a fit for your business, send an email to ken@jerseymanmagazine.com or give them a call at 856-912-4007 for more information. All right, when we return, we'll wrap up hour number one. You're listening to The Locker with Billy Schweim and Mike Carlin right here on 97.3 ESPN.
The hunt for October continues on ESPN Radio.
Towards the plate, the throw, and they get him. Wow.
The Atlanta Braves are storming toward the postseason, sitting high atop the National League East.
It's gone. Donald Acuna Jr. with a foul.
This weekend, they travel to Queens to go head-to-head with the New York Mets. The Braves and Mets. Yeah. By play, home of Sunday Night Baseball, exclusively on 97.3 ESPN FM.
Every year, hundreds of children suffer from unintentional injuries or death due to unsecured guns. Camden County and Moms Demand Action South Jersey are asking for your help to reduce gun violence by spreading the Be Smart message.
Store guns unloaded, locked, and separate from ammunition. And talk to other parents about secure gun storage.
It's up to us to prevent these tragedies and save lives. Visit CamdenCounty.com/BeSmart to learn how we can stop gun accidents and deaths together.
Do you want to get in shape and feel great and look better on the beach? At Local Gym and Fitness, located at 908 Asbury Avenue, you can accomplish your goal. 4 local guys with a passion and experience in fitness wanted to open a gym that delivers a quality, hospitable, clean, and friendly environment. Don't be intimidated. Be a local. Local Gym has the best equipment around with 4 fully loaded Olympic and CrossFit platforms, Jacob's ladders, Stairmasters, bikes, and ergs. Local Gym and Fitness provides quality trainers to lend their expertise with all your training needs. They're open 7 days a week. Memberships are affordable. So be a local at Local Gym and Fitness. Call them today at 609-545-8732 or go online at localgymandfitness.com. I'll see you there.
Summertime, baseball and golf season are in full swing, plus so much more. BetParx is an official betting operator of the PGA Tour. It's a great time of year. Plus, the BetParx Casino and Sportsbook app follows you to the shore and the mountains. Get in on the action all summer long, whether you're on the beach, the boat, or the boardwalk. Bet while you're on the lake and the Poconos. BetParx has you covered. It's all right in the palm of your hand. Odds, bets, slots, and games. Download the BetParx Casino and Sportsbook app right now. Check out live in-game betting, same-game parlays, teasers, and more. Bet more than the score. Bet player performances. Bet hits, home runs, and strikeouts in baseball. All new users bet $10 and get $125 in sportsbook bonus if your first bet wins. Get in on the action all summer long. BetParx has you covered. BetParx.com has terms and conditions. New users and winning bets only. Sports bonus bet must be wagered once. See website for details. Must be 21 in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, or Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Every piece of land has a story. Some right there is behind the wheel of a John Deere 1 Series tractor, like the Upshaws.
This is my tractor Penny. It's all about attention to detail.
But the Nelsons love cruising around their expansive Montana ranch in their John Deere Gator UV.
We've been here since 1868.
While the Caggianos drive a John Deere zero-turn mower to keep their Long Island brewery looking sharp.
Don't call me, don't bother me. I'm going out to mow for a couple hours.
Run with us and start telling your story. Learn more at johndeere.com/radio.
Now, more with Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
All right, we're back broadcasting live at the Toms River Auto Group studio right here in Northfield. Billy Schweim, Mike Carlin, Josh Henning, who did an outstanding job last night for the broadcast, and back here at the studio running things, Josh. And I like the way you give me, 30 seconds, 10 seconds.
I'm a professional.
You're like the quarterback out there.
I'm directing traffic. I'm like the point guard. I'm just dishing assists over here. I'm leading the league in assists and nobody appreciates me.
Get a helper there? Come on, Ken.
You know, I got to give Gil a little shout out.
Sure.
He was right. Okay. Remember when we were talking about the wild card?
Yeah.
And the teams, and he goes, hey, these are like Miami, Arizona, Pirates. Let's let the season play out.
Right.
They're all dropping.
Well, look at the Marlins.
Okay.
I mean, they're 60 and 57, and they're what? They got two clubs ahead of them.
Yeah, you got the Giants. You got the teams that no one thought was the Cubs. Cubs are playing really good right now. And the Reds have played good. That's steady ball, all baseballs. So they're not dropping. So it's probably going to be it's going to come down between the Cubs and the Reds. It will be us and the Giants.
I've been telling you guys for a while now. I keep bringing it up. The Phillies are arguably the third best team in the National League.
Yeah, they're showing it.
You cannot find me another one of those teams in that wild card race that is better than them because they all have massive flaws. And the Phillies, as you said earlier, Billy, it's an all-star lineup. Well, an all-star lineup is better than a not all-star lineup.
Do you rank the Dodgers higher than Atlanta or Atlanta?
I have Atlanta 1, Dodgers 2.
Atlanta 1, Dodgers 2.
The problem with the Dodgers right now is that they had so many injuries this year that they're sort of like fighting themselves, which is kind of scary.
Yeah.
By the way, Mike Gill just sent me a text message. He said, we're talking about who do you bring up? He said, bring up Clemens because he's more versatile.
And he's been here.
Yeah,
he'll feel
Clemens,
comfortable.
he play first in multiple positions.
Right.
He'll be comfortable. It's a good call.
And if they need a pitcher, he made 2 relief appearances this year. Did he? Josh?
Yeah, 1 at least I remember. I have to double check how many he actually had. But I know he had at least that 1 because they were joking with his dad about it.
A rocket.
Roger Clemens.
Rocket.
One last thing about the Philadelphia Phillies. You guys worried about Aaron Nola?
No.
Can you like elaborate?
Are you concerned that he's what's the word? Well, I like him because he does eat innings. He
right.
shows up every fifth
eats
day.
Up innings.
But his
walks are crazy.
Yeah, he's got like 26 home runs he's surrendered. He's like second in the league.
But again, I look at him as the hitters. The hitters eventually hit, pitchers eventually pitch. I think when playoff time comes, he'll be okay.
I'm concerned, but I'm not like stressing.
Yeah.
So if the playoffs were to start today, what would your rotation be in the playoffs?
Wheeler, Ranger, Nola, Lorenzen.
I'll go with that.
Head of Lorenzen?
Well, because the idea is
throw a no-hitter.
You threw 1 no-hitter, Billy.
Yeah.
You know how many guys have thrown no-hitters who are not in the Hall of Fame?
That was a one-night wonder.
Okay.
One-hit wonder?
No, they listen, the guy is pitching very well right now. But the idea for me is that, I would put him behind Nola, Wheeler, and Ranger because those 3 guys pitched in the postseason last year. Lorenzen didn't.
Yeah, I like familiar. I like guys who are going to feel comfortable. Now, can you use him for an inning or 2? Absolutely, in a series.
By the way, Cody Clemens had
doesn't have
4
to be a
relief
starter.
appearances this year. He had 4 relief appearances with a 3.38 ERA.
All right, you want to hear a crazy stat? Courtesy of Dan Adams, he sent me this. 4 pitchers made it to Major League Baseball from Fullerton Union High School in California, and now all 4 have thrown a no-hitter.
That is correct.
Can you name those pitchers, Josh?
Well, one is Michael Lorenzen.
That's a good one.
That's outstanding.
We know that one.
The second one most people might know is Walter Johnson.
Walter Johnson.
Oh.
I forget the names of the other 2, but I saw this stat before.
Look that up. I actually don't have that in front of me either. But
I'll
I saw
pull it up.
Isn't that amazing how some schools just like produce
hell of a high school coach,
right?
That's all.
On the other side of the top of the hour, we're going to talk with
I'm so excited.
newly inducted,
Hall of
newly
Famer,
enshrined Hall of Fame football player Joe Klecko is going to call.
97.3 right here.
Right here.
Him. We got him.
Got him.
Okay.
And not only that, he went to St. James. I told you about that high school.
St.
Right?
James
So
is a very, very rough school. I'm sure he'll if he's listening, he's going to say, "Don't talk too much about
Here's
it."
the full list, by the way. So it's Walter Johnson, Michael Lorenzen. The other 2 are Steve Busby and Mike Warren.
And what years? Do you have the years that
Busby? I remember that.
I don't
name.
remember Busby.
Give me a minute. It's not listed on this article. They just listed who it was.
St. James School, just to go back real quick, was the kind of school, whether it's football or basketball, you didn't want to play.
You didn't want to go there
because you may win, you may beat them, but you're not playing the next week because you're hurt.
Busby
Okay?
pitched for the
Yeah, it was
Royals
rough.
in the 70s, by the way.
Hey, this is alumni weekend for the Phillies too, coming up.
So on Tuesday, when I went to the game, we were staying. I never stayed up in the Hall of Fame club
Right.
area where you can just walk right into the Hall of Fame. Beautiful.
Oh, I've sat up there a couple times this
Have
year.
you ever
with my-
walked through the Hall of
Yeah,
Fame with
yeah.
all the pictures
Yeah.
and from the 50s
Yeah.
to the 60s?
It's
I thought
awesome.
it was absolutely beautiful.
I was supposed to go to Monday night's game, got rained out.
Right. So
And
I had the doubleheader on Tuesday.
So, but anybody could just walk up and get a ticket that day, right?
For that day, and you got 2 games. And
See,
if
I
you, if you
lost-
already had your ticket, then you had 2 games. Like usually,
No, you couldn't use. You could not use your ticket to get into that first game. That went back into your account.
No, I'm saying I had tickets for the 1 game on Tuesday.
The first game and the second game.
There was always you bought it for the second game. There was no first game until it got rained out. the
Right,
night before.
and that's what I'm saying. Like they didn't do it like you can. They honor the tickets for
Oh,
that
no.
next game.
The only way they can do that is that that game would have had to start at 12:05 or 1 o'clock because it ends at 3:30. You clean everybody out and you bring everybody in.
Right, like a day night.
The way
doubleheader.
they did this, if you had the
Back-to-back.
tickets for Tuesday already, then you just got a doubleheader because it was exactly half an hour between the games. It was great actually, and if you're in a box with food and drinks and
Right.
walking around, it was like, man, this is the best.
There was the crowd. It was a small crowd for that first game because it was
Correct.
basically a
It
walk.
started at 4 o'clock.
Right.
Yeah, but it started getting crowded from like the 6th inning on. You could tell, and it's amazing how we were overlooking the Ashburn Alley and where Mac and Mako is. You know, and all those the crowds that are eating that pizza are unbelievable. I mean, some of the chicken and pizza they had a crowd,
right?
But there was triple the amount of people in front of the pizza shop.
Something.
It's just
Pizza gold. Another cool stat, I guess, if you will. The night that Lorenzen pitches the no hitter, Castellanos hits his 200th home run, and Weston Wilson hits his first at bat. Did you see his mom? Or their family? They were
Dad
going
was
to-
crying.
Yeah.
Well, that's a very
It's
special.
emotional.
Yeah, it's a very.
Well, that guy spent his
how much
entire
hard
life.
work?
I can't tease anybody for crying because I'm a crybaby.
How much hard work went in there to get to that spot?
Well, remember, he's also like 7 years older than Rojas. Rojas
28
skipped
years
him.
old.
Rojas skipped him to get to the major leagues. Remember, Wilson was at AAA, Rojas was at AA. So Wilson wasn't just sitting in the minor leagues for like 8-7 years. He also got skipped by dudes who were younger than him. And he finally gets to the major leagues first time, boom.
Let's bring the Hall of Fame on.
First hour's in the books. Hour 2, we're going to be talking with newly enshrined Pro Football Hall of Famer Joe Klecko. Looking forward to that. And then, of course, the Beach Patrol Report brought to you by McCann Realtors of Seattle City and the Ocean City Beach Patrol Lifeguard Alumni Association at the bottom of the hour. Stick around for all that. I'm really excited to hear from Joe Klecko. We'll have all that for you and a whole lot more. It's The Locker Room with Billy Schweim, Mike Carlin, Josh Henning on a Saturday morning right here on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app.
This is the radio home for Philadelphia Eagles football. The Eagles open the 2023 preseason tonight in Baltimore against the Ravens.
Up the middle. He's in for a touchdown. Oh, straight ahead.
Eagles radio network coverage begins at 6 p.m. with Merrill Reese and Mike Quick calling all the action starting at 7. This is where the Philadelphia Eagles play. 97.3 ESPN, South Jersey's official Eagles station.
Texting enrolls you in recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Leaving for the gym so early?
I'm ready to go.
Since you started taking Nugenix Total T, you've been acting like when we met in our 20s.
I feel like myself again. Lower testosterone after turning 40 slowed me down. Nugenix Total T has been a game changer for me.
What is it about Nugenix Total T that's different?
Well, it's a patented key ingredient called testofen. It boosts free and total testosterone to help you get back the drive and energy from your youth. It's backed by 5 clinical studies.
I've seen the huge difference it's made for you in the gym, at work, and in the bedroom.
I'm so glad I sent them a text for my complimentary bottle. Text ROCK to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Nugenix is the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and we'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever. Absolutely free. Text ROCK to 321-321. That's ROCK to 321-321. one.
Hey, baseball fans, the BetParx app has you covered. Bet more than the score. Bet player performances, home runs, hits, strikeouts. Bet game combos like winning team and over-under on total runs. BetParx futures bet on MVP, Rookie of the Year, and more. All new users bet $10 and get $125 in sportsbook bonus if your first bet wins. BetParx.com has terms and conditions. New users and winning bets only. Sports bonus bet must be wagered once. See website for details. Must be 21 and in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, or Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Crank the AC because it's not just hot, it's sizzling hot. All summer long at Parx Casino and Sportsbook. Pennsylvania's #1 casino brings you more ways to make this your hottest summer ever. The slots are hot. Table games are hot. The restaurants are hot. The biggest and best sportsbook on the East Coast is hot. The entertainment is even hotter. Don't miss a minute of the action. Visit ParxCasino.com. Street Road exit off 95 in the Pennsylvania Turnpike. Parx Casino. This is how you win.
This is how you win.
Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply or apply. Stop, opt out. Go to nomoredraftywindows.com for full offer details. Attention all homeowners. Do you know when to replace your windows? Feeling too hot or cold? It's time to replace. Fog between the glass. Time to replace. Spending too much on expensive energy that literally goes out the window? It's definitely time to replace. If you've put off replacing windows in your home because it's too expensive, here's great news. You can now get a free in-home window consultation and free price quote from Renewal by Andersen, the company with the most 5-star reviews among leading full-service window replacement companies. And right now you can save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. Just text PLACE to 200-300 for your free consultation on top quality affordable windows or patio doors for $0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for a year. That's right, you don't pay a dime for an entire year. Plus save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. But hurry, these big dollar savings end this month. Text PLACE to 200-300 right now. Text the word PLACE to 200-300. Don't wait, text PLACE to 200-300.
Sports is what we do.
You're in your car, you're in your house, you're wherever you are. You're a sports fan.
97.3 ESPN.
Because if you weren't a sports fan, you wouldn't be listening.
WENJ HD, Millville, Atlantic City. A town square media station serving all of South Jersey.
Red 83!
Welcome to the locker room. Vince Papali, welcome to the locker room.
I can smell it already, Billy. What's happening, buddy?
Von Hayes, welcome to the locker room with Billy Schweim.
Yeah, hey, Billy, how you doing out there?
Rich Gannon, welcome to the locker room, Rich.
Thanks, guys. It's great to be with you.
Great Bob McElwee, NFL referee.
Hey, Bill, how you doing?
Craig Berube. Craig, welcome to the locker room.
All right, thanks, Billy.
We have the real Pat Croce in the locker room.
Let me off the bench, Coach.
And now here's your host, Billy Schweim.
All right, we're back broadcasting live at the Toms River Auto Group studio right here in Northfield. Billy Schweim, Mike Carlin, Josh Hennick pushing the buttons. And Carlin, you know, we covered the South Jersey Lifeguard Championships last night, and it was a great race. But during this year, for Wildwood Crest, Jake Klecko rose singles and doubles for Wildwood Crest. And Jake's a really, really great guy. And when I saw that Uncle Joe, made the Hall of Fame, I'm like, I got to get him on. So I called Jake and I asked him. He said, "Let me ask Uncle Joe." And now I get an opportunity to interview. Not only this is my second Hall of Fame player from the New York Jets. I had Joe Namath on. Now I have Joe Klecko.
Great company.
Let's welcome into the locker room, newly enshrined football player from the New York Jets, Joe Klecko. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning, guys. That was awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Hey, Joe, before we start talking about you and your career, your nephew's one heck of a rower, and one of these days he's going to win. He's going to win. He's going to win one of the South Jersey championships. I believe that. It's
in his blood. He's passionate as hell about it. He was disappointed. He called me this morning because he knew we were going to be on together, and he was telling me, well, he said, Uncle Joe, it didn't go real good last night. So I haven't talked to him yet, but he wasn't happy.
Well, you know about fighting adversity. I watched your Hall of Fame speech. And by the way, congratulations on a great career. But I really enjoyed your speech because it's a rags to riches story. I mean, you weren't even looked at. as far as like opportunities to go to college on a scholarship. The story you told was fabulous, and it's worth repeating.
Oh, honestly, in the way I got to where it was, you couldn't have made a movie any better or a script. Nobody could have wrote it to be as interesting as the way I got there, without a doubt.
One other thing that I saw is when Joe Namath knocked on your door. How surprised were you? How shocked was that? How shocked were you?
Oh, it was big. Reason being is, they had kept it a secret from me with my wife and my daughter who were at home with me still. And when Joe came to the door, I told them they had me waiting for my wife to go take her to a doctor's appointment, which was a lie. But, what it was I told him, give me lunch. I'm real hungry. And I was going to answer the door, and I expected somebody with food. And here it was Joe Namath. And I turned around, and nobody understood it until I explained it. Like I said, I turned around, and I was laughing. I was so surprised. And I said to my wife, I said, Joe Namath came to lunch, here he is with his gold jacket and 14 cameras behind him. I kind of knew what it was. Yeah.
That was definitely a great look, expression on your face when you turned around and you looked at the camera. That was priceless, man.
Oh yeah. Again, I was so surprised about not only it being someone from the Hall of Fame, but Joe. I mean, Joe's, an icon. Joe, of course, is the greatest New York Jet, ever. And, to have him come to my house was pretty cool.
We're talking with newly enshrined pro football player from the New York Jets, enshrined into the Hall of Fame. Joe Klecko was with us. And Joe, humble beginning, humble start, and then you go to Temple. Coach Harden gets you in there, and that's how your career starts. The story you told about your wife throwing the keys, I mean, just think about fate. If you didn't go, like you said in your speech, if you didn't go out and pick those keys up, you would have never gotten out of that car.
Yeah, exactly. And then, who would have, I was content. I had a good job, but I missed football. And like I said, when she threw the keys out the window, the guys seen me at practice. And, basically I couldn't get out of going over to at least talk to them. And like I said in my speech, I wouldn't be wearing that gold jacket if it wasn't for her.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Joe, it's Mike Carlin, and I was reading up about you, and I know a lot about you. So I'm a Philadelphia guy growing up, and when I saw, I didn't remember you going to St. James High School, and then when Billy told me, I was like, if you're from the Philadelphia area, and you know someone that went to St. James, whether you play basketball or football, I was telling you, it's the kind of school that's on your schedule, and if it's a non-league, you may beat them, but you're not playing the next week because you're beat up, whether it's basketball or football. I mean, there were some rough kids that came out of St. James and molded in the right way, kind of thing. And is that where you think you got your start? Really?
Well, without a doubt, Chester was a tough town.
Yep.
And we were, the Catholic boys stuck in the middle of it. But like I say, that was that old school life, where nothing was given to you. And, the discipline you were given by your parents. And it was great to have the Catholic, background and actual discipline in it. I mentioned in my speech again, I said about my mom and dad, who, God rest their soul, aren't with us anymore. But I said the one thing about mom and dad always made sure we were at church on Sunday. and that's a big deal, and I think that has a lot to do with the way we were brought up. And, the no nonsense about it is, you grew up where if you didn't stand up for yourself, you were in trouble in Chester. Yeah. So, our football teams, when I was there, we won the Southern Division, and then we missed the city championship. But the year after us, they won the whole thing. So it was a tough bunch of guys that played there.
We're talking with a newly inducted football player for the New York Jets, enshrined in the NFL Pro Football Hall of Fame. Joe Klecko is with us. Joe, you NFL Defensive Player of the Year, two-time first team All-Pro, 4-time Pro Bowl, NFL sacks leader in 81, the George Halas Award. Now you're on the Jets Ring of Honor. How much did all that prepare you for being up on stage, accepting your unveiling your bust and making a speech in front of all those people up there?
Like I said in my speech, I had that speech in my desk since 1993, and it took me 30 years to get there. So the preparation, of course, I spoke about it from the standpoint of I couldn't have mentioned all the people in a half hour that have had a part of my life, but I tried to make it as concise as I could and as understanding as I could. But, preparing for that speech, I redid that speech 18 times, really. A guy by the name of Bill Reinhardt, he's a writer out of New York, and he helped me with it to get through it, And Bill wrote it as a fan, basically, and then my wife and I and my daughter-in-law, basically, who ran the whole show after the Hall of Fame, we critiqued it. And even the morning I was out there, I went out early to speak at a deal for Joe Gibbs. And the morning we were out there, I changed it again. So it was, it was on your mind the whole time. It was like, oh my Lord, I hope I get this all right. And it worked out real. Everybody loved it. So it was good.
Hey, Joe. So as a defensive end, every week your main job is to get to the quarterback. So without all the years that you played, is there a quarterback that stood out to you that was like, man, I'm in for, I know I got to play hard, but I even got to play harder to get to this guy. Is there someone that stands out to you? I mean, you played against a lot of good quarterbacks. I'm just thinking maybe there's one that was just like stuck in, like, I haven't got to him yet and I want to get to him.
Well, he was terrible for us as defense getting rid of the ball, Dan Marino.
Yeah.
Dan had a great feel for everything around him. Not a mobile guy, always was in the pocket. You knew where he was going to be, but really, I mean, he could feel you. I talked to him about it years ago, and I said, he goes, yeah, I could feel certain things around me, and I'd get rid of the ball. And he had great receivers, of course, but I played against Joe Montana, and I think between Marino, who I played twice a year, of course, and Montana, those two guys were, the elite of the class. Well, I can't eliminate John Elway too, but John was such a great athlete. Chasing him around, that was a pain.
Hey, Joe, you also have the moniker of the New York Sack Exchange. I mean, when you have a name of a line like that, like the Purple People Eaters or the
stays with you,
the no-name defense. I mean, right? The Steel Curtain, things like that. You have the New York Sack Exchange, Abdul Salam, Marty Lyons, and Mark Gastineau. That had to be a fun group to hang around with.
You must have, you owned New York at that time.
There's no doubt. Of course, at that time we were young kids, really coming out of college and stuff, and we were doing real well. And but that year that we were the Sack Exchange, we went to the playoffs for the first time in a lot of years. And when we were down at the New York Stock Exchange at Wall Street, we were doing a promo for Pro Keds. It was phenomenal. I mean, Marty Lyons and I get out of the car. We had a couple of beers and all, and here we are. We got out of the truck, out of the limo, and we get up, and the guy sticks a mic. There's wall to wall people. The whole street was closed off, and there was thousands of people there. This had never happened to us before, as even Alabama, Marty playing in Alabama and all. But Marty gets out of the car and they stick a mic in his face and said, "Hey, it's great to be home." And I looked at him and said, "What the hell are you talking about?" It surprised us to the point where it was humorous. And but I'll tell you and people don't forget that name. That name is synonymous with, it's really. I mean, we may be the first, or not first, but second or third best name ever in the NFL to ever have a moniker put on you. It was cool.
Yeah, that's something that I'll never forget it. I mean, that's to me, like you're in the Hall of Fame and you're on the New York Stock Exchange. You couldn't write a better script. Joe, I want to thank you. By the way, you got to get down to the beach. We got to get down here to the Jersey Shore and watch your nephew Roe. He's really talented kid.
I was down there a couple of years ago. We used to come down to the Crest all the time, but since the pandemic, my wife and I stopped. The kids still come down because my brother Jimmy, who it's Jake's dad, they own a house down in the Crest and stuff. So we used to get down a lot, but we're reigniting that again. So we will be down there probably next year for it.
Well, we definitely have to say hello. I write an article every Friday for 97.3ESPN.com, and we put a picture of you up, and we put a picture of Jake rowing in his Wildwood Crest boat. And I said it's a great weekend for the Kleckos down here in the Jersey Shore. And it's also great for us to hear from you.
Absolutely. I mean, this was a
This
true
is
honor,
a treat,
Joe.
and I really appreciate it. I want to thank Jake for facilitating, and congratulations on your gold jacket.
Really, Bill, Mike, I appreciate it all. I do. And like I said, I haven't come off the high yet. It's going to be a while before this happens because, to be inducted into, something that, 10,000 guys have played at, and there's only 377 guys in the Hall of Fame. That's a pretty good class.
You never have to come off of it, Joe.
Yeah, don't come
That's
off
for
that
life.
high. That's unbelievable. All right, Joe, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday afternoon, and hopefully we'll be able to do this again one day.
You got it. Thanks a lot, guys.
There he is, Joe Klecko, newly enshrined football player in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, man, I've had a lot of guests, and that was really cool.
That was
because
a classic.
He's a Pro Football Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
I had
And
Joe name it
just last week.
Right?
Yeah, last week, 2 weeks?
Yeah,
I mean,
weekend. Unbelievable.
that was something. That was a nice segment right there. Great job, Billy.
I love the part near the end where he talks about how he's like, we didn't actually expect all like the fanfare that we got from it. And it's amazing to hear someone say that because in today's world, it feels like athletes never escape the limelight because of social media and the 24-hour news cycle, right? Whereas back then, there was no 24-hour news.
No.
There was, ESPN was like
Or
basically
closing
a
down-
baby.
Did you hear him? They closed down the street. You know how hard
Yeah,
that is to
right.
do in
In
New York City?
New York City.
Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't be
So
done.
back then, they're like, I'm sorry, you're
what's
doing
wrong?
this for us?
What was the Rams? Fearsome Foursome.
Fearsome Foursome,
right?
yeah.
Steel Curtain. Give me some names. Purple People
Purple
Eaters.
Peter,
Denver.
Doomsday
What was
Defense.
Denver's?
Doomsday Defense. Who was
The
that?
Orange Crush.
Orange Crush.
Remember that?
He's got a name like the New York Stock Exchange.
It never goes away.
No.
And it's everyone you just named, all those nicknames, they all have Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
on those
You know what I forgot to ask him about his movie career? He was in 3 movies.
It goes fast.
Cannonball Run, Smokey the Bandit 1 and 2.
What was it? Burt Reynolds.
And
I like to
Jackie
hear
Gleason.
about that. Yeah, they would have been good. I bet he's got good stories.
We'll get
with
him
that.
back on again. All right. For over 83 years, the Circle Liquor Store has offered the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits in South Jersey. It's a stone's throw away from Ocean City. It's a landmark with a friendly staff. It's no wonder why Circle Liquors was named Best of Philly, Best of Atlantic City, with the most competitive prices around. Circle Liquor Store is now a proud sponsor of the second hour of the Locker Room with Billy Schweim. Throwing a party? Let Chet and his staff make sure you have everything you need. Check out their website at circleliquors.com or give them a call at 609-927-2921. That's 609-927-2921, Circle Liquor Store in Summers Point, New Jersey. All right, when we return, we'll talk a little Eagles football. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim and Mike Carlin right here on 97.3 ESPN.
The hunt for October continues on ESPN Radio.
Towards the plate, the throw, and they get him. Wow.
The Atlanta Braves are storming toward the postseason, sitting high atop the National League East.
It's gone. Ronald Acuna Jr. with a foul.
This weekend, they travel to Queens to go head-to-head with the New York Mets. The Braves and Mets. Coverage begins tomorrow at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN.
This is the play-by-play home of Sunday Night Baseball, exclusively on 97.3 ESPN FM.
Ocean City's real estate market is red hot. You need an agent that has the knowledge and expertise to help. Contact Ocean City's top agent, Mark Grimes. Mark has been selling real estate for 30 years in South Jersey. He can answer all your real estate questions and find you the perfect property. He's available anytime on his cell at 609-425-2042. When Philadelphia star athletes are looking for a house at the beach, they contact Mark Grimes, specializing in buying and selling vacation homes, single-family homes, condominiums, and duplexes, residential and commercial, as well as new construction projects or investment opportunities. Mark Grimes, he's your agent at the beach. Give him a call right now, 609-425-2042, or check out his website at grimes.com. Finding an electrician that is dependable, prompt, and experienced is important. Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Service is just that. Service in Atlantic and Cape May counties for 40 years, Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services specializes in both commercial and residential work and provides 24-hour emergency services. No job too big and no job too small. Call Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services. They do it all. Call for a free estimate, 609-399-1999.
Call Tom Jackson and Sons for electrical, they're number one.
Hi, this is ex-Philadelphia Eagles tight end Ken Dunnick, and I'm the current publisher of Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine, and I'm asking you to become a Camden County police officer and help make our city a better place to live. The Camden County Police Department is now hiring for sworn officers who are going to make a difference in our community. The first year's salary for the position is $51,000. So join the effort today to be part of something bigger than yourself. Visit CamdenCountyPD.org to apply online. That's CamdenCountyPD.org. Thank you.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Leaving for the gym so early?
I'm ready to go.
Since you started taking Nugenix Total T, you've been acting like when we met in our 20s.
I feel like myself again. Lower testosterone after turning 40 slowed me down. Nugenix Total T has been a game changer for me.
What is it about Nugenix Total T that's different?
Well, it's a patented key ingredient called testofen. It boosts free and total testosterone to help you get back the drive and energy from your youth. It's backed by 5 clinical studies.
I've seen the huge difference it's made for you in the gym, at work, and in the bedroom.
I'm so glad I sent them a text for my complimentary bottle. Text ROCK to 321321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Nugenix is the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and we'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever. Absolutely free. Text ROCK to 321321. That's ROCK to 321321.
Flounder season is gearing up, and the one stop for everything you need is the bait and tackle shop at Utch's Marina in historic Cape May. Come to Utch's for a huge selection of spinning and conventional rods and combos for the boat or the surf, with top name brands available like Penn, Tsunami, Ocean Max, Shimano, and more. Utch's Marina, your home away from home. Hey.
You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
All right, we're back broadcasting live at the Tom River Auto Group studio right here in Northfield. Billy Schweim, Mike Carlin, Josh Henning. That was cool, Mike. Hearing from Joe Klecko. That was awesome.
Yeah, we do a lot of segments here.
Yeah.
There's certain segments that you don't forget.
Yeah.
I won't forget that.
That was a good one.
That was a good one.
I want to thank Jake Klecko for the Wildwood Crest Beach Patrol, his Uncle Joe. And Jake was telling me yesterday in an interview that he's a teacher. He's a mathematician. He said he likes numbers. But that was cool. And, that's something I won't forget. Very humble. Just got a text message from one of my sponsors, Pat Card, down at the Ocean City local gym. Yeah. He said, very humble. Very humble.
Yeah, that's how he came off. And Josh said it during the
From
break.
his upbringing.
He just, do you hear
regular
him,
guy.
Do you hear him talking about his mom and dad, going to church every Sunday, having a family meal every night as much as they can.
Yep.
All those things bring you together. And it's how I'm sure he's passed it on to his kids.
As Billy Schweim would call it, salt to the earth.
All right, let's talk a little Eagles football. Let's get ourselves in a 3-point stand.
Finally.
And we're not going to see any starters today, but we will see. I think what I'm going to be watching mostly for is the play of Nakobe Dean.
Dean's probably not playing today.
I heard he might.
There's a possibility. What's going to happen tonight is you're probably not going to see any starters. And what's going to happen is it's going to be a lot of the guys who are playing who are in position battles.
I bet you see Smith before Dean.
You think
just because he's a rookie? Yeah. Just because he's a rookie.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I mean, I think Dean's got a better chance of really seeing serious time. He's not.
Dean hasn't been. Has he been penciled in as a starter? I mean, he's got the green dot, but
he's the guy.
He's your guy.
Still has to prove
Nick
himself.
Sirianni and Sean Desai have already said that he's the guy.
Still has to prove himself.
Well, maybe to you.
You know when to prove.
Well, you don't think he needs to prove himself, Josh? He didn't play last year.
But see, I
don't know
like
what's
that word
going on
prove
during practice,
himself.
and when they have these practices against other teams, like you got 2 coming up, they're more important than the preseason.
Well, and Josh, let's get back to this because you remember the last couple of years, you and Mike tell me to get off the lawn, get off your lawn because I'm old-fashioned traditionally the way I think. But I've changed my opinion. Obviously, last year the Eagles didn't suffer hardly any injuries other than Derek Barnett, right?
Right.
So maybe this non-contact practice is keeping them healthy, keeping them on the field. And I changed my philosophy. I don't think necessarily all that hitting. Looking back, remember how Dick Vermeil, his practices.
I think today is so much different. And Paul will tell you, I've had good talks with Paul. when these guys come into camp, they expect them. It's not like
they're already in
in
shape.
the 70s and 80s.
Right.
It was, hey, for the first 30 days, we're going to get you back in shape.
Right.
Now they expect you walk in the first day and you're not in shape. There's the door.
Right.
Like, we don't have time for that no more.
That's right.
Yeah, the conditioning. Funny you mentioned it's a conditioning drill now. What they do is that the first day in camp, you got to do the conditioning drill. If you could do the conditioning drill, you practice. If you don't, they put you on the pup list. Basically,
you're in trouble. You're on that list.
Nolan Smith is playing the edge too. I mean, isn't he? He was drafted as a safety, right?
No,
he
he's
wasn't
not
drafted as a safety.
No, he played outside linebacker at Georgia.
Okay,
and he's going to be a combination of three players basically. Because if you look at what he did at Georgia and what he's capable of, he's got a little Hassan Reddick in him. He's got a little Brandon Graham in him, but he's also got a little like traditional linebacker in him as well. So he's probably going to be to the Eagles if he develops properly. And I'm not saying he is this guy, so I'll preface it.
Right.
But I think the Eagles want to use him like the Cowboys use Micah Parsons.
Okay.
And
he's that kind of athlete.
That's sideline. That's speed.
What other? I mean,
I really like
right guard is up for grabs.
You know who I'm looking for today?
Yeah, I want to hear
a name that I love, and I think he's going to be a great pickup for us. Miles Jack. I think Miles Jack's going to be a great pickup for us.
How about Cunningham? I mean, he was a pretty good linebacker.
This is an interesting conversation because there's a lot of people who are arguing back and forth about which of those two guys is going to be the guy. Look, the Eagles said a few days ago that, they admitted, look, we need more guys in here. And there's a possibility both guys make the team, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then, of course, the other most of the questions are on defense, with the exception of right guard, correct?
Yeah.
So
the only question on offense, I mean, it's not the running back is not really a question. It's more of like a curiosity of like who's going to get the more snaps.
You guys got how I feel about the running back. I think we are strong and extremely strong at every position on offense except the running back.
Why is that?
And you're depending a lot on Gainwell.
Rashad Penny's got the highest average per carry.
No, Rashad Penny 1 year led the NFL in yards per carry
this year.
But the problem is that Penny has a huge injury.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you acquired DeAndre Swift. Swift is a guy who is basically has been a better version of what Gainwell should be.
What's the best ability, Josh?
Availability.
Gotta play.
But the problem is that I think the running back's deep, honestly.
Here's another one. We have 6 tight ends other than Dallas. God forbid Dallas needs a game or two to sit for whatever reason. Who are you putting in?
Probably Dan Arnold and Jack Stoll.
Yeah. I mean,
you need me to elaborate on that or
no? It's just they're not names that just pop out. I mean, Dan Arnold
has played in the
position.
league for a few years. He's a guy who's a receiving tight end. Jack Stoll is probably going to be number 2 tight end this year because he's a very good blocker.
Okay,
and he's an underrated receiver. We're going
to need to block him with
does Reed Blankenship play tonight?
That's a great question. I don't know what they're doing with safety. I'm completely confused. Safety is the thing I'm most nervous about, honestly. I'm so nervous because I don't like these combinations, Bill. I feel like Blankenship and Edmonds are too similar of players. I like Sidney Brown. I don't know if he's ready, day one in the NFL. He's a rookie. And then Evans, Evans was healthy, he was a phenomenal player, but he missed 2 years due to an injury. And he just came back last year, so I don't know what he is.
But I look at this, I spin it the other way, and you're right about him being hurt. But if he's back this year, they know what he got from last year.
Right.
He wouldn't be back this year if they were like, hey, we tried last year and it didn't work out. I like experience. So me, I like Edmonds and Edmonds. Yeah.
Is either one of the big tackles going to play, Carter or Jordan Hall?
They probably will. Some. Fletcher Cox was saying in an interview with Kay Adams this week that he wants to see Davis and Carter. He said they need the reps.
Yeah.
He says for as talented and as great as they are, he said they need the reps.
All right.
Of all the big names, I think those two see the most time.
I'm excited. We got Phillies baseball at 6.
6.
And we got the Eagles right here on 97.3 ESPN at 7.
I told you. I'm going to try to find somewhere to watch both.
All right, Josh. I know you will.
We need a bar. We need people to start texting and tell us what bar to go to.
For over 83 years, the Circle Liquor Store has offered the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits in South Jersey. It's a stone's throw away from Ocean City. It's a landmark with a friendly staff. It's no wonder why Circle Liquors was named Best of Philly, Best of Atlantic City, with the most competitive prices around. Circle Liquor Store is now a proud sponsor. The second hour of the Locker Room with Billy Schweim. Throwing a party. Let Chet and his staff make sure you have everything you need. Check out their website at circleliquors.com or give them a call at 609-927-2921. Now, I'm not a – Josh, you drink those craft beers, and I hear you and Mike Gill talking about different type of beers.
I mean, I drink pretty much everything, but I mean, yes, I do drink.
Circle Liquors has a huge
Circle
selection.
Liquors has an excellent selection.
Unbelievable. I walk in there, I've never heard of some of these beers. I hear Mike talking about beer.
It's a lot of local brewers,
different labels.
A lot of people, small businesses in this area. A lot of them make their own beers. They sell at the breweries, but Circle Liquors has been very gracious to stock the shelves, load the shelves with a lot of people like Slack Tide and Ludlum and others.
Do you have to buy like a 6-pack at a time, or you can buy one here, one there? Like,
No, I think you can buy 6-pack at a
separate?
time.
They have
Yeah.
usually it's both
Singles.
So the way it works is usually a lot of liquor stores now, Circle Liquor does this too. They have the 6-packs. Sometimes they also have like the pick 6 option where you just pick 6 random ones.
All right, let me tell you about McCann Realtors. Looking to buy or sell or rent at the shore? Call John McCann, broker owner of McCann Realtors of Sea Isle City. Put his 38 years of experience to work for you. As a real estate broker, certified general real estate appraiser, John has the knowledge, integrity, experience, and dedication you want and need. Call him at 609-263-7422 or visit McCannRealtors.com or stop by the office, 4111 Landis Avenue in Sea Isle City. Meet John and discover the McCann difference. When we return, it's time for the Beach Patrol Report, brought to you by McCann Realtors and the Ocean City Beach Patrol Lifeguard Alumni Association. You're listening to The Locker with Billy Schweim and Mike Carlin right here on 97.3 ESPN.
Coming up on the next edition of the Sports Bash with Mike Gill.
Monday show, we are taking a look back at the Phillies weekend against the Twins and the Eagles matchup against the Ravens. We'll be live at Ocean Casino's Gallery Bar, Book, and Games. Stop out and see us. Phil's weekend, Eagles and Ravens. It's all Monday on the Bash.
The Sports Bash, weekdays from 2 to 6 on 97.3 ESPN and the free mobile app.
Train presents The Unstoppables. Those captains of comfort, those gargantuans of the guarantee, those satisfaction savants who persevere perilously beyond probability as the raconteurs of reliability. Here's to Train's heralded heroes of heating and air conditioning, those comfort kings with a tireless tenacity for total turnaround. The Train Comfort Specialists. Just one more reason why it's hard to stop a train.
Hi, this is Joe Lenigan, owner of Lenigan Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Call us today for your free train system quote at 609-399-1200 or online at ocnjplumber.com. And please don't forget to ask for the military and senior discount.
Call Lanigan, again and again. Call Lanigan, again and again.
Hundreds of Volkswagens in stock and on sale. Hundreds of Mitsubishis, even 100 electric Bintelli golf carts in stock and on sale at Tom's River Auto Group. And not one a penny over sticker. Plus, Tom's River Auto has a Birds fan bonus. $500 off just for showing up in a team jersey, hat, socks, whatever. How easy is that? New or used, Tom's River's got plenty, but hurry. On sale, they're flying. Click Tom'sRiverAutoGroup.com.
Do you want to get in shape and feel great and look better on the beach? At Local Gym and Fitness, located at 908 Asbury Avenue, you can accomplish your goal. 4 local guys with a passion and experience in fitness wanted to open a gym that delivers a quality, hospitable, clean, and friendly environment. Don't be intimidated. Be a local. Local Gym has the best equipment around with 4 fully loaded Olympic and CrossFit platforms, Jacob's ladders, Stairmasters, bikes, and ergs. Local Gym and Fitness provides quality trainers to lend their expertise with all your training needs. They're open 7 days a week. Memberships are affordable. So be a local at Local Gym and Fitness. Call them today at 609-545-8732 or go online at localgymandfitness.com. I'll see you there.
My little brother's friends have been camped out at our place for 2 days straight. 3. It's because of the Xfinity 10G network. Internet that can handle a house full of screens at once, with basically no interruptions. And it's only getting faster. When I was their age, internet like this was a pipe dream.
You sound like my grandpa.
Please go home.
The next generation 10G network only from Xfinity. The future starts now. Now through September 21st, new customers can get 200 megabit internet with unlimited data on the next generation Xfinity 10G network for just $25 a month for 12 months with no annual contract. Plus, go to Xfinity.com/10G, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply to internet service. Actual speeds vary, not guaranteed. Savings compares Xfinity Gig to Verizon Gig.
Now, more of The Locker Room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
All right, back broadcasting live from the Toms River Auto Group studio right here in Northfield. Billy Schweim, Mike Carlin, Josh Henning producing. Last night at the broadcast of the 2023 South Jersey Lifeguard Championships last night. It was a great race. It was a great finish. And now it's time for the Beach Patrol Report, brought to you by McCann Realtors of Sea Isle City, 4111 Landis Avenue. Knowledge, experience, integrity, dedication. For rental and sales, call 609-263-7422 or go online at McCannRealtors.com, where you can also keep up with all the South Jersey Lifeguard news and racing schedules, and by the Ocean City Beach Patrol Lifeguard Alumni Association. Celebrate 125 years. Let's do the sports hotline and welcome in my co-host on the live broadcast, former chief of the Longport Beach Patrol, and a good buddy of ours, Dan Adams. Good morning, Dan.
Good morning, Billy. What a great night. What a great night of racing.
Wow. I got to tell you, one indelible imprint that I have in my head is looking at the size of that crowd last night on the beach. It was phenomenal.
Yeah, the crowd was awesome. And, shout out to Chief Smallwood and the Margate Beach Patrol 2 weeks in a row, throwing a great event. And then having the after party, it just made everything good, and it probably had something to do with the crowd being a little bigger.
I'll tell you what, it was a great night. It was beautiful weather, and we saw Jack and Joe Seville from Brigantine win the doubles. McGrath and Sean Duffy came in second. Gary Nagel, Dave Julian from Avalon came in third. Hayden Smallwood, Bob Beckler from Margate fifth, and the Blair brothers from Atlantic City, Sean and Rick, came in fifth. The doubles was the first race of the night. And we're going to go ahead and play an interview with Jack and Joe Seville. Guess what, Dan? These guys are going to be around for some time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We look forward to it.
All right, here we go. And I want to thank Paul Sweeney. Did a great job with the interview. But man, what a race in the doubles. I mean, these guys are very impressive. They're not big in stature, but they know how to row.
Yeah, they're both rowing for Cornell in the crew, part. But, let's talk about them. We talked about them every week. Those two, the worst finish they had all season was second place in a race. Right. They had a great season to cap it off in the Margate and in the Jerseys to get first place 2 weeks in a row. It's unbelievable. And like you said, we're going to see them around for a while. Yeah. We're going to see them in the future. They're definitely going to be part of South Jersey Lifeguard racing.
Now, I'll never forget Dan, when you won your first South Jersey championship and the euphoric feeling and the pride that you felt. Obviously, you were very emotional. We saw a little bit out of Kip Emick, Chief Emick from Brigantine, very emotional last night and very proud. He had his chest out.
Absolutely. And, Kip's a good friend. I've known Kip in the lifeguard business for a long time, being a lifeguard myself for 32 years through, into 2018. And Kip's just always been top notch, and he's done a great job with that program over there in Brigantine. And for them to win it is unbelievable. I think it goes back to actually them hosting it goes back to the early 80s. They might have been a co-champion in 92 or something, but, great for them and great for Kip. And Savell and Canavan, those two groomed the Savell brothers to be what they are, and they're awesome. And they really did a great job, and they shined last night for sure.
By the way, in '92, it looks like it was a three-way tie between Ocean City, Brigantine, and Avalon that year.
Yeah, who hosted though? Does it say there?
It doesn't say who hosted, but yeah, that's the last time though. I said that Chief Emick, you got a spot for us on the beach next year because ESPN's coming.
Absolutely. And like I said last night, and I'll reach out to Chief Fuller from the Brigantine Fire. I believe they have a storm truck or something, but we'll make sure we get set up so we can be there and be a part of that. And hey, August 9th, 2024, Brigantine will be hosting the South Jersey Championships.
That's great for Brigantine. And I talked to Chris Graves a little bit last night. Of course, Graves and Chuck Gowdy dominated the two-man lifeboat race for several years. And I said, you know what, Chris, it's like a changing of the guard because you look at the doubles crews, the Blair brothers, Gary Nagel and Dave Gillian from Avalon, Brigantine with the Savell boys, McGrath and Duffy, seasoned veterans have been around and they've won their share. Hayden Smallwood and Bob Bechtel. I mean, the O's were Danny Rogers and Pat Scanapicchio, Bakey and Tom Lake. And then, of course, you've got Klecko, which we had in the truck, but it's a lot of new blood.
Yeah, absolutely. And you look at that, though, the top five finishers last week and this week were the same. They just kind of switched spots a little bit. And, not to saying that they've been dominating, but the Atlantic County beaches have had top four finishers in all these big races in the doubles rows and the singles rows. So something to say about Atlantic County and the rowing and their involvement in rowing.
And then, of course, the swim was funny because we all assumed that Zach Vassar was in first place. And, of course, Dolan Grisbaum, who won the event last year. Dylan DeWitt from Ocean City came in fourth. But Charlie Schreiner from Atlantic City had us all fooled. And Paul Sweeney got an opportunity to interview him after the race. Paul, like I said, Paul did a great job. But one point that he made, Dan, is the fact that these guys are all friends. They all know each other. That's not how it used to be. I mean, we had Robert from Ocean City up in the truck with us last night during the race, and he was saying, everybody back in the day was from somewhere else. They didn't know each other. So it was more of like a fierce, like these guys all know each other.
Yeah, and we watched that during the pre-race warm-ups and that. They were actually together. They were taking pictures. They were laughing. They were having a great time. But we talked about it. As soon as that horn went off, that friendship's left there at the finish line, and maybe it picks up when it comes back. The only thing we missed last night was Charlie Schreiner's cap color.
Yeah,
we wrote down everybody's cap color, and we didn't have his. So that's why we thought it was Vassar. But I'll tell you, as soon as he stood up, I knew it wasn't him, just by the frame and by his demeanor. And, once he got closer, we were able to call the finish. But, I apologize to Charlie. We were calling Zach Vassar all the way.
Yeah, I said the same thing.
Because we thought that it was the swim cap. But, what a great swim. They all 5 swimmers that finished in the top 5 did a great job. And they were all there. And,
Dan, how important James Haney came in 5th place. He gets a point. And that's the difference. I mean, they got 1 point. That 1 point was pretty big.
Yeah, that's the first time in a while going into the singles race. We had a 3-way tie with 6 points, and then 2 other crews with 4 points right behind. That's the first time that's happened in a number of years in the South Jersey Championship. But that's what it's all about. That's what the public wants to see. They want to see that race go down to the wire, and it did. And Margate had an opportunity to win the event in the singles. Chris Spires was up, and he broached and veered on a little wave, and Savell went right by. We weren't sure up in the truck who won the singles. It was a toss-up. In the end, speaking to the officials, it was pretty clear, that I think 5 out of the 6 officials had Savell winning, and 1 had Mike McGrath. So, hats off again to Jack Savell for winning. And hats off to Mike McGrath and Chris Spires for rowing a great race and being right there, as they always are, each and every week.
Just to let Mike Carlin, you're not really familiar with the racing, but when you say the word broach, when you're catching a wave, you want to keep the boat straight. A lot of times, if you don't get the oar buried, oar in the water, your boat turns sideways.
You could be in trouble.
And
you may flip it.
Yeah, which we saw.
Yeah, we were talking about that last night. Chris Graves and I were talking about that a little bit. And, you have to make that instantaneous decision on what you're going to do, whether you're going to jump back, whether you're going to try and steer it from the seat, or you're going to row right through it. And sometimes rowing right through it is the best option, depending on the size of the wave, because it keeps the boat moving, the momentum going straight, and you can adjust and react accordingly because you're already in the seat and you're already in your brake.
But see, the thing is, too, and Mike Carlin, when he says when you put the oars in, if it's a big wave, you got to get to the stern sheet. You have to. If you don't get that oar in there, you can't keep. It's like your rudder. You can't keep that oar straight, that boat straight. So that's the decision. It's instantaneous. You got to do it right away.
And we were talking about later in the evening. We were talking about the 1987 South Jersey Championships in Ocean City, and the waves were like 2 stories tall. I mean, this was an unbelievable day. And Steve Brown ended up winning that singles race on an unbelievable wave. I think out of the 15 crews in doubles and singles, maybe only 6 or 7 got out in both races. Yeah. That's how crazy it was. And I still remember Oves, the father of one of the boys rowing last night, was rowing in that race, and he had to come in and dump his boat, or maybe it was Sheffer, because Sheffer and Oves rowed together.
Yeah.
But they had to come in and dump their boat, before they went back out. So it was crazy. And, hey, that's boat racing. Each week it could be different conditions, and you got to prepare for everything you may come across.
Oh, I want to thank Dan. It's been a great. We started the Beach Patrol way back on Memorial Weekend, and we bring it all the way through till the South Jersey Championships. Of course, there's one more big race left. It's more of a fun race. It's the Gaudies next week in Ventnor, and then that's it for the Beach Patrol for this year. And I want to thank you for helping us along this long and winding road of racing, competitive racing down here at the Jersey Shore.
Yeah, and I want to thank you for allowing me and giving me the opportunity to be a part of this. I look forward to this every summer, and I look forward to it each and every week to get out there and be a part of the team. Hey, one final question. Yeah. Did you go with vanilla or chocolate ice cream?
I went with the chocolate.
Okay.
Hey, listen, also, I want to say thank you to John McShane, former lieutenant, of the Ocean City Beach Patrol and former lieutenant of the Ocean City Beach Patrol, Jack Brooks, who's the current president of the Ocean City Beach Patrol Lifeguard Alumni Association. It was a great job you guys did. Of course, Chief Stocks from Wildwood came up to visit us. Rob Montgomery, a former champion in the swim, was up there. John Millar and Josh Henning and Danny Ryan for pulling up. But I want to thank the city of Margate as well for allowing us to have access. It was a great night last night.
Yeah, and again, it goes back to Chief Smallwood and his crew for putting the race on. And I'll give them a shout out again to Mayor Collins, Commissioner Horn, and Commissioner Blumberg for allowing the Beach Patrol to put on this event, allowing us to have the opportunity to, do the live broadcast. Without everyone's cooperation and help, we wouldn't be able to do it. So thank you to all of them as well.
All right, Dan, we'll see you. We'll see you at the Galleys next week. But then I'm looking forward to next year on the beach in Brigantine for the South Jersey Lifeguard Championships.
August 9th, 2024. Mark the calendar.
Book it. All right, Dan. Have a good one.
All right. Thanks, Billy. You got it. Take care.
There he is, former chief of the Longport Beach Patrol, Dan Adams. And I got to tell you, just the excitement that was generated with all the beach. You see, hear the guards on the particular from their town screaming. It was a lot of fun last night. All right. For over 83 years, Circle Liquor Stores offered the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits in South Jersey. It's a stone's throw away from Ocean City. It's a landmark with a friendly staff. It's no wonder why Circle Liquors was named Best of Philly, Best of Atlantic City with the most competitive prices around. Circle Liquor Store is now a proud sponsor of the second hour of the locker with Billy Schweim. Throwing a party? Let Chet and his staff make sure you have everything you need. Check out their website at circleliquors.com or give them a call at 609-927-2921. That's Circle Liquor Store in Summers Point, New Jersey. Hey, just about everybody in our area has heard about the Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine that is run by ex-Philadelphia tight end Ken Dunnick. Were you aware of their private business network they call the Legacy Club? Every month, they'll have private events at upscale locations in Philadelphia and South Jersey that attract over 200 top business people. If you have an interest in attending one of these events and see it's a fit for your business, send an email to ken@jerseymanmagazine.com or give them a call at 856-912-4007 for more information. I also want to thank Jake Klecko from the Wildwood Crest Beach Patrol, who facilitated our interview with Uncle Joe Klecko. And I want to thank Jake. All right, when we return, we'll wrap it up. You're listening to The Locker with Billy Schweim and Mike Carlin right here on 97.3 ESPN.
This is the radio home for Philadelphia Eagles football. The Eagles open the 2023 preseason tonight in Baltimore against the Ravens.
Up the middle, he's in for the touchdown. Oh, straight ahead.
Eagles radio network coverage begins at 6 p.m. with Merrill Reese and Mike Quick calling all the action starting at 7. This is where the Philadelphia Eagles play. 97.3 ESPN, South Jersey's official Eagles station.
Finding an electrician that is dependable, prompt, and experienced is important. Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Service is just that. Service in Atlantic and Cape May counties for 40 years, Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services specializes in both commercial and residential work and provides 24-hour emergency services. No job too big and no job too small. Call Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services. They do it all. Call for a free estimate, 609-399-1999.
Call Tom Jackson & Sons for electrical, they're number one.
Every year, hundreds of children suffer from unintentional injuries or death due to unsecured guns. Camden County and Moms Demand Action South Jersey are asking for your help to reduce gun violence by spreading the Be Smart message.
Store guns unloaded, locked, and separate from ammunition. And talk to other parents about secure gun storage.
It's up to us to prevent these tragedies and save lives. Visit CamdenCounty.com/Be Smart to learn how we can stop gun accidents and deaths together.
Randazzo's Pizza, Randazzo's Pizza, Randazzo's Pizza, the pizza you're gonna love. It's got the freshest taste that you'll find any place. Randazzo's Pizza, there's one right nearby. Randazzo's Pizza, Randazzo's Pizza. It's a pizza like you've never had before. Eat it or take it home, no matter where you roam. Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find. Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find.
Why would you call anyone else besides Randazzo's Pizzeria and Family Restaurant, 34th and Asbury Avenue in Ocean City. Open year-round, 7 days a week, offering free delivery on the whole island and to the beach. Pizza, pasta, salads, entrees, subs, paninis, and wraps. Voted best of the shore. Call 814-1600. 814-1600.
Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find. Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find.
Texting enrolls you in recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Leaving for the gym so early?
I'm ready to go.
Since you started taking Nugenix Total T, you've been acting like when we met in our 20s.
I feel like myself again. Lower testosterone after turning 40 slowed me down. Nugenix Total T has been a game changer for me.
What is it about Nugenix Total T that's different?
Well, it's a patented key ingredient called testofen. It boosts free and total testosterone to help you get back the drive and energy from your youth. It's backed by 5 clinical studies.
I've seen the huge difference it's made for you in the gym, at work, and in the bedroom.
I'm so glad I sent them a text for my complimentary bottle. Text ROCK to 321321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Nugenix is the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and we'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever. Absolutely free. Text ROCK to 321321. That's ROCK to 321321.
You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the free 97.
All right, we're back broadcasting live at the Tom's River Auto Group studio right here in Northfield. Billy Schweim, Mike Carlin, Josh Henning. We got some text messages, Josh.
Yeah, we don't want to ignore the peeps out there. By the way, couple people very happy that you had Joe Klecko on. Cole from LBI says Jets, Jets. I have a lot of hope and expectations for my Jets this year. Congratulations to Joe Klecko, ultimate team players from Cole and LBI. We also got Shaner and EHP says, hey, Billy, cool interview with an old school dude. Tell Josh to be up at the pool for once. Tom in Cape May Courthouse chimes in. This is gangrene for life. You got 3 people complimenting their Joe Klecko interviews.
Well, I mean, he was
Jet people in this area.
Just like Pat Carr just said, he's humble. He's a regular guy. And you know what? Great athletes, most of them are regular guys. I'll never forget. I'm telling you, when I had dinner with Wayne Gretzky, you would not. He didn't come off like he's the greatest hockey player of all time.
Right.
He was a regular guy.
There are guys like that. Not a lot, but there are. But
Mario
that's
Lemieux,
why they stand out.
Mario Lemieux was
Everything.
Yeah. One more text I want to squeeze in here. Johnny G from Ocean City.
Griner.
Griner chimes in and says, hey, Billy, Josh, and Mike, how about those Phillies World Series? Here we come. Go Birds. There's Super Bowl bound again. Football is here. Sixers, not so much. Johnny G in Ocean City.
Listen, I gotta thank Reiner and his daughter, man. They really hooked me up. I love my place, and if you're looking for a place to call Johnny Griner, the Griner team, Laura and his daughter, they do a great job. But Griner's a big and huge. He's huge.
Man.
He goes to a lot of games. Listen, back 2 years in a row, would that be unbelievable?
October could be a lot of fun.
Unbelievable.
You go across the street.
Wow, we're already going already? Oh, man. Not enough time, Carlin.
I'll come back next week.
That time, soon back channel.
I want to thank Dan Adams for chiming in the Beach Patrol Report. Of course, newly enshrined member of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I want to thank Joe Klecko and his nephew Jake, who rose for a while with Cressy's under control down there. Tomorrow on the program, coming out of the bullpen for Tommy Green on the mound, brought to you by the John R. Elliott Hero Campaign for Designated Drivers. Scott Ayers coming in and going to fill in for Tommy as he's got some reunion obligations with the Phillies tomorrow. And Paul Domowitz from Team 33 he covers the Eagles. All that and more. Thanks for making Saturday the locker part of your Saturday, because nothing could be finer than talking sports with the Schweiner. I'll see you tomorrow, everybody.